When a leader forgets that power comes from the people, he has already lost his mandate of heaven. The wife's greed becomes the husband's folly, and the nation bears the cost of their combined short-sightedness. South Korea, a beacon of technological prowess and economic dynamism, found itself teetering on the precipice of chaos. President Yoon Suk-yeol, in a move that sent shockwaves across the globe, declared martial law. The nation held its breath, the air thick with uncertainty. Financial markets, known for their cold logic, reacted with a swiftness that bordered on panic. The previous episode of this channel used the hexagram Zhehuogei to briefly explain and analyze the global political and economic trends in 2025. The year 2025 loomed on the horizon, not as a beacon of promise, but as a harbinger of global instability. Sure enough, the incident happened just after this channel finished talking about it like last year. This is not an accident, but the result of Yi Jing's ancient wisdom interpretations of yin and yang, binary calculus. The South Korean won, once a symbol of stability, tumbled in value. Investors, caught off guard by the sudden turn of events, watched as their portfolios felt the tremors. This dramatic turn of events served as a stark reminder of the intricate dance between politics and economics. The invisible hand of the market, so often lauded for its ability to self-regulate, seemed to tremble before the might of political decree. Whispers of uncertainty spread like wildfire, reaching far beyond the borders of South Korea. From the towering skyscrapers of Tokyo to the bustling trading floors of New York, investors were reminded that even in our interconnected world, local events could have global repercussions. The situation in South Korea, while geographically isolated, held within it a potent message for the world. It underscored the fragile nature of stability, the ever-present potential for chaos to erupt from seemingly calm waters. As analysts scrambled to make sense of the unfolding drama, one question echoed through the corridors of power and finance. Was this a localized tremor or a harbinger of greater instability to come? Can love justify the sacrifice of national interests? Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the tumultuous landscape following South Korea's declaration of martial law. Join us as we explore how this chaos ripples through markets and impacts global travel safety. Drawing on ancient wisdom from Yi Jing and strategic insights from the art of war, we'll uncover how to navigate these uncertain times with confidence. What happens when love and power collide? South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol, driven by a desperate attempt to shield his embattled wife, has lit the kindling of chaos. The Yi Jing's hexagram 23, Shandibo, splitting apart, comes to mind, symbolizing a state where corruption gnaws away at the foundations, leaving structures brittle and vulnerable. Yoon's declaration of martial law in response to his wife's alleged bribery scandal is a textbook case of what Sun Tzu warned against. When you defend everywhere, you are weak everywhere. Instead of quelling unrest, Yoon has stoked it, providing TSMC with the perfect opportunity to overshadow South Korea's tech giant, Samsung. Love may conquer all in poetry, but in governance, it often drags everything down with it. How ironic that this reminds us of the ancient Chinese saying, "For the sake of a beauty, the city walls crumbled." President Yoon's actions echo the cautionary tale in hexagram 44 Tianfenggu, coming to meet, where passion clouds judgment. As Sun Tzu warned, if the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. But alas, in this case, the mind seems to have taken a vacation. In times of turmoil, humanity often turns to the wisdom of the past, seeking solace and guidance in the echoes of history. The ancient Chinese text, the Yi Jing, with its cryptic hexagrams and timeless wisdom, offered a lens through which to view the unfolding drama. Hexagram 51, the arousing shui zhe, shock thunder, spoke of sudden unexpected events. It described disruptions that shattered the illusion of calm, much like a clap of thunder on a clear day. The Yi Jing provided a framework for understanding such upheavals. These moments of shock were opportunities for renewal, for shaking off complacency and forging new paths. The parallels between the ancient wisdom of the Yi Jing and the modern-day crisis in South Korea were striking. The South Korean won, once a symbol of economic strength, now faced political uncertainty. President Yoon's martial law declaration sent chills through financial markets. The won's value plummeted, reflecting global investor anxiety. For Koreans, this meant a tangible loss of purchasing power. Imported goods became more expensive. The cost of living threatened to spiral upwards. Financial anxieties cast a shadow over daily life. The won's plight was a global concern. It symbolized the interconnected global economy. South Korea's distress signals impacted global trade. Its currency woes could ripple through emerging markets. The line between domestic politics and global economics blurred. Decisions in Seoul reverberated globally. The won's cry was a wake-up call for the fragile global financial system. As analysts grappled with South Korea's political crisis, many turned to Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Sun Tzu's insights seemed eerily relevant to the drama in Seoul. President Yoon's actions could be seen as a bold, risky gambit. Sun Tzu stressed the importance of decisiveness, of seizing the initiative. By declaring martial law, Yoon took control of the narrative. Sun Tzu emphasized knowing oneself and one's enemy. Yoon's actions suggested a deep understanding of the political landscape. His crackdown on dissent could be seen as a calculated move. However, Sun Tzu cautioned against protracted conflicts. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Yoon's challenge was to transition back to normalcy without further inflaming tensions. The parallels between Sun Tzu's teachings and South Korea's political maneuvering were striking. Yoon's actions seemed to echo the ancient strategist's teachings. Only time would tell if his gamble would lead to victory or defeat. Why does power often self-destruct? The desire to protect his wife has entangled Yoon in the paradox of power. The Yi Jing's hexagram 6, conflict, speaks directly to his dilemma. Conflicts unresolved breed greater discord. Rather than calming the storm, Yoon has amplified it, pushing South Korea closer to systemic collapse. This offers a lesson to leaders everywhere. Personal indulgence is a fatal distraction in governance. Sun Tzu wisely noted, "He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight." Yoon, alas, seems to fight blindly for personal loyalty at the expense of national welfare. The political landscape in South Korea, even before the declaration of martial law, was already fractured. President Yoon's relationship with Parliament was strained, marked by gridlock and animosity. The recent elections, rather than providing a clear mandate, had only deepened the divisions, leaving the country more polarized than ever. This internal strife, this battle for the soul of South Korea, was perhaps the most worrying aspect of the entire situation. A nation divided against itself, as history had repeatedly shown, was a nation vulnerable to external threats and internal instability. The economic fallout from the martial law declaration was concerning, but the potential for deeper societal fractures was far more alarming. The Yi Jing, with its emphasis on balance and harmony, offered a cautionary tale. Hexagram 38 opposition spoke of a time when opposing forces clashed, their energies locked in a struggle that could consume all involved. South Korea, teetering on the brink of such a scenario, desperately needed to find a path towards reconciliation. The world watched with a mixture of concern and hope. Could South Korea's leaders find a way to bridge the divides that separated them? Could they put aside their differences for the good of the nation? The answers to these questions would have profound implications not just for South Korea, but for the stability of the entire region. The turmoil in South Korea, while unsettling in its own right, served as a stark microcosm of the broader turbulence shaking the foundations of the global order. President Yoon's struggles with a divided parliament, his attempts to consolidate power amidst a climate of fear and uncertainty, mirrored similar power struggles playing out on the world stage. From the heart of Europe, where the ghosts of past conflicts seemed to be stirring once more, to the volatile Middle East, where ancient rivalries continued to fuel modern-day conflicts. The world seemed poised on the edge of a precipice. The old certainties, the alliances and agreements that had held the global order together for decades, were fraying at the edges. The Yi Jing, with its uncanny ability to distill complex situations into simple truths, offered a sobering perspective. Hexagram 38 Opposition spoke of a time when conflicting forces clashed, not in a decisive battle for supremacy, but in a protracted struggle that drained the energy of all involved. This, it seemed, it was the defining characteristic of the current age, Maya. A global landscape characterized by perpetual conflict and simmering resentment. The situation in South Korea, therefore, was not an isolated incident, but rather a symptom of a deeper malaise. It was a stark reminder that the forces of division and discord were not confined to any one nation or region, but were instead woven into the fabric of the global system. President Yoon's actions, viewed through the lens of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, could be seen as a high-stakes gamble, an attempt to exploit the prevailing chaos to his advantage. Sun Tzu, the master strategist, stressed the importance of turning a disadvantage into an opportunity, of using the chaos of the battlefield to outmaneuver and ultimately defeat one's opponent. Yoon's declaration of martial law, while undoubtedly a drastic measure, could be interpreted as an attempt to seize control of the narrative, to project an image of strength and decisiveness in a time of uncertainty. By taking such bold action, he aimed to wrong-foot his opponents, both domestic and international, and to reassert his authority on the world stage. This strategy, however, was not without its risks. Sun Tzu also cautioned against becoming entangled in protracted conflicts, warning that even victories won at too high a cost could ultimately prove Pyrrhic. Yoon's challenge, therefore, was to find a way to navigate the fine line between decisive action and reckless escalation. The world watched with a mixture of fascination and trepidation, unsure whether Yoon's gamble would ultimately pay off. Would he succeed in bending the chaos to his will, or would he become consumed by the very forces he sought to exploit? South Korea, caught in the throes of political turmoil, found itself precariously balanced between progress and regression. On the one hand, the nation had made remarkable strides in recent decades, transforming itself from the ashes of war into an economic powerhouse and a technological innovator. On the other hand, the shadows of the past, the memories of authoritarian rule and political repression, lingered like ghosts haunting the present. The declaration of martial law, while perhaps intended as a temporary measure, had reopened old wounds, reawakening fears that the hard-won freedoms of the past could be easily swept away. The Kospi Index, South Korea's stock market barometer, reflected this delicate, balancing act. After the initial shock of the martial law declaration, the market had stabilized, but it remained volatile, prone to sudden swings as investors weighed the potential risks and rewards of investing in a nation grappling with such uncertainty. The world watched, holding its breath, as South Korea navigated this treacherous path. Would the nation emerge from this crisis stronger, its democratic institutions intact, or would it succumb to the forces of division and regression? The answer to this question had profound implications, not just for South Korea, but for the future of democracy in the region and beyond. Is there safety in the storm, or is the world becoming a more dangerous place? As we approach 2025, the world of travel is fraught with uncertainty. Travelers are asking themselves, how can I ensure my safety while exploring new destinations? The year 2025 loomed on the horizon, not as a beacon of promise, but as a harbinger of global instability. The Risk Map 2025 painted a sobering picture of unprecedented challenges. Security was deteriorating at an alarming pace, as if the fabric of order was unraveling. Geopolitical tensions fueled by nationalism and ideological clashes simmered across continents. Natural disasters, exacerbated by climate change, were recurring catastrophes, leaving devastation in their wake. This map highlights that security has deteriorated in 77 countries, particularly in volatile regions such as the Middle East. In the wisdom of Yi Jing, we might reflect on hexagram 18, Shanfeng Gu, decay, which warns us of the dangers lurking in seemingly stable situations. Just as Sun Tzu advises in The Art of War, if you do not first think about the calamities of danger and destruction, you will not be able to reap any advantage. In light of these findings, one must ask, what regions should I avoid to ensure a safe journey? The risk map indicates that areas like Israel, Gaza, Lebanon and Iran are classified as extremely dangerous. Additionally, countries such as Burkina Faso, Libya and Myanmar have also emerged as significant risks. This situation echoes hexagram 38 Huozikui discordance, which reminds us that harmony is easily disrupted by external conflicts. As travelers, we must heed these warnings and adapt our plans accordingly. The Yi Jing offered insights into this period of upheaval. The world was entering a period of profound transformation. The Risk Map 2025, with its intricate web of color-coded warnings, was not merely an academic exercise, it was a call to action for individuals, businesses and governments to adapt their strategies. Careful consideration of geopolitical realities, environmental hazards and health security measures was paramount. For businesses, the map presented a complex chessboard where every move had to be calculated. Supply chains now resembled fragile threads vulnerable to disruptions. Sun Tzu's The Art of War offered valuable guidance for navigating this labyrinth of risk. While the world may be increasingly unpredictable, knowledge, foresight and adaptability remain potent weapons. But what about the stability of Europe? One might wonder, is Europe still a safe place to visit? Historically viewed as a bastion of safety, Europe is now experiencing rising risks. Countries like France, Spain and Sweden have shifted into a moderate risk category due to political unrest and environmental challenges. This reflects the teachings of Sun Tzu. When the generals are haughty and the soldiers are lazy, this is the greatest disadvantage. It is essential for travelers to remain vigilant and aware of these shifting dynamics. Europe, once a haven of stability, now faces political polarization, economic anxieties and social divisions. The influx of refugees, while humanitarian, strains resources and heightens tensions. Europe is reminded that safety is a dynamic equilibrium, constantly challenged by internal and external pressures. The challenge is to address instability while preserving values of openness and human rights. Despite these concerns, there are still safe havens for travelers. Which countries offer a respite from these dangers? The risk map highlights Germany, Switzerland, Luxembourg and Norway as some of the safest destinations. Here we can see the application of hexagram 57, Chun Wei Feng, gentle penetrating, which suggests that subtlety and caution can lead to safety and success. As Sun Tzu wisely notes, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, implying that preparation is key to navigating these uncertain times. Amidst global uncertainty, Germany and Japan stand as beacons of stability. They embrace international cooperation, understanding their well-being is linked to global security. Investing in social safety nets and diplomacy, they reduce social unrest and build bridges. Their resilience embodies the principles of harmony and balance. Are bright spots merely illusions, or is hope still alive? Amongst the chaos, hexagram 11 peace whispers its promise. Nations like Germany, Japan and Republic of China, Taiwan shine as bastions of safety, their stability reflecting the art of war's principle. The wise warrior avoids the battle. These countries have fortified their societal structures, investing in the long game of harmony rather than the fleeting victories of conquest. Similarly, the upward trajectory of nations like China and Argentina offers hope, a beacon for those who believe that even in turbulence there lies a path to order. Germany, Republic of China, Taiwan and Japan's stability results from strategic long-term decisions. They follow Sun Tzu's wisdom. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. By fostering economic prosperity and strong alliances, they deter conflict. They maintain credible defenses using military strength judiciously. Germany, Republic of China, Taiwan, and Japan's success highlights the importance of investing in a harmonious society. Education fosters understanding and tolerance, reducing conflict. Social safety nets create a more equitable society, reducing resentment. Dialogue and compromise are essential for stability. How does paradise handle the weight of its own allure? In contrast to these safe countries, we must consider emerging threats in popular destinations like the Maldives. One might ask, what is causing the Maldives to transition from paradise to a medium-risk destination? Increasing political instability combined with social tensions has raised alarms about this once idyllic locale. This situation resonates with hexagram 28, Zifeng Daguo, crossing the Great, which signifies that great burdens can lead to collapse if not managed carefully. Here again, Sun Tzu's advice rings true. Calamity can happen at any time, underscoring the need for continuous assessment and adaptability. The Maldives, once a paradise, now faces existential threats from climate change. Rising sea levels and coral bleaching threaten its economy and social fabric. The Maldives' predicament shows that even paradise is not immune to change. Environmental degradation, political instability, and economic vulnerability are intertwined. The Maldives' decline echoes the Yi Jing's caution against complacency, a warning against resting on one's laurels when danger creeps in from the shadows. Rising social tensions and climate change weave a treacherous narrative. As Sun Tzu warns, the greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Yet the Maldives finds itself battling forces it cannot control, its once pristine image marred by instability and erosion. The Maldives prioritize short-term gains over sustainability, leading to long-term pain. The Yi Jing offers hope renewal is possible if mistakes are acknowledged and new paths embraced. The Maldives' plight highlights the urgency of climate change adaptation. Rising sea levels and coral bleaching threaten its existence. The Maldives must invest in coastal defenses and diversify its economy. It must advocate for global climate action to avert catastrophe. Preparedness and adaptability are crucial in a changing world. The Yi Jing and Sun Tzu emphasize understanding and adapting to change. Leaders must navigate complexity and inspire resilience. The greatest danger lies in clinging to outdated maps and illusions of stability. The Risk Map 2025 reminds travelers of the world's complexities. Knowledge is the traveler's most valuable currency. Preparedness, adaptability, and respect for cultures transform travel into a journey of growth. Embrace new experiences and the transformative power of encountering the other. As we approach 2025, the world is a landscape of shifting sands. Amidst uncertainty, there is liberation and opportunity. Approach the future with open-mindedness and adaptability. Together we can navigate challenges and create a future worthy of our aspirations. As we look back on the incredible journey of 2024, I am filled with profound gratitude and humility. This year has been a testament to the power of shared wisdom, collective growth, and the ancient insights of the Yi Jing that continue to inspire us all. To our 170,000 subscribers, thank you for being the foundation of this journey. Your unwavering support, thoughtful comments, and shared enthusiasm have breathed life into this channel. Whether you are a long-time follower or have just joined our growing community, you are a vital part of what makes this channel special. Through each video, we have explored the timeless wisdom of the Yi Jing, delving into its hexagrams, its philosophy of balance, and its lessons for navigating the challenges of modern life. Together, we have uncovered practical strategies rooted in ancient traditions that guide us in decision-making, personal growth, and finding harmony in a chaotic world. Your engagement is what keeps this channel thriving. With every like, share, and thoughtful comment, you not only show your appreciation, but also help spread this knowledge to others. To those who haven't yet, I encourage you to click the bell icon and subscribe to ensure you never miss an update. These small gestures have a huge impact, allowing us to reach even more people who might find solace or direction in the wisdom of the Yi Jing. As we move forward, our commitment remains the same: to provide you with content that inspires, enlightens, and empowers. This channel isn't just about ancient texts, it's about applying their teachings to create a brighter future for ourselves, our communities, and our world. To our cherished viewers, thank you for making this dream a reality. Let us continue to learn and grow together, sharing this journey with friends, family, and anyone who seeks a deeper understanding of life. Here's to a future filled with balance, prosperity, and wisdom. Let's keep moving forward. Together we are unstoppable. Thank you all for sticking around until the end of this episode. Let's be honest, making videos isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's more like a marathon with coffee breaks and the occasional tech meltdown. But it's your support, encouragement, and yes, even your comments, the good, the bad, and the constructive, that keep us going. So, if today's video brought you even a smidgen of insight or a single aha moment, do us a favor and hit that like button. Trust me, it'll save you time when you're frantically trying to find this video again in the future. Plus, it gives us that warm, fuzzy feeling and the drive to keep creating quality content that just might spark a few more aha moments for you. Thank you for watching. Here's to us all pushing toward a brighter, better tomorrow. Much appreciated, truly. Thank you.